Yo, you guys, I literally think I love the iPhone 13 Pro because I don't have the little mic, but it's still focusing on my voice, like the direction. I absolutely love that. Today, in this video, we're gonna talk about shadow work integration and shadow work. Now, I'm not actually supposed to have this gem, right? This crystal indirect sunlight, because the color will start to fade. It's supposed to be like gold, black into gold. It's not smoky quartz. But I swear it got darker because of everything that happened to me recently, and I was wearing the necklace, and I swear it absorbed negativity. Anyways, so today we're going to talk about shadow work, and I felt like that was a good way to segue into it, talking about the absorption and the color black in general being absorption, black holes. But I'm gonna play a clip. I don't know if this will get copyright. I'm sure I don't think it will. I think it should be fine if somebody uploaded it on TikTok. Sorry, I don't have the credit for whose TikTok this is, because you're gonna see how blurry the clip is. But
so what that you've come up with some autograph? What a joke! Everyone in the village is just falling over themselves to deceive you. You've been lying to us since we were kids, inventing stupid rules and making us outcasts. Don't you remember that? It was always so hard and so painful too. I'm the only one who will ever understand you. You can't trust any of those villagers. Maybe. The villagers are important, but there's someone else that I have to trust more first. What I need to do right now is believe in myself. I need to trust the me that all of those villagers believe in. While watching Octopus. He doesn't let himself get pulled down by doubt, and he has pride in himself. Do you think that I'm just something in your way? What exactly was I to you, huh? I became strong because you existed. It's thanks to you that I got where I am today. And what now, huh? What am I supposed to do from now on? That's easy to answer. You just need to become me. You are me after all. Thank you for everything you've done. But it's all right now.
shadow work is one of the most important things. I was literally just making a video on passion and that fire inside you to want to change the world for the better, or change it for whatever, or be the God in your reality, and whatever. And the only way that can be achieved is literally if you do shadow work. And that's why I said I was actually on the topic of, I don't like using the word toxic, but toxic spirituality, where they think it's got to be all positive, it's got to be all crystals, it's got to be all mantras, it's got to be all this, that. It's all got to be permission slip, putting way too many permission slips on yourself, when the simplified form is literally the understanding of oneself. That's it. And I said that at 111 on the recording. That's really cool. Well, probably the video is longer, obviously, but it's literally just understanding yourself with everything that comes, experiences, your quirks, everything. It's literally everything. It's not toxic positivity. Now, shout out to a dude I do like to watch from time to time named Timothy. That's his name. I forgot what it is. Timothy something. But he talks about it, how if he had a t-shirt or made a t-shirt, but he's gonna get it made, he would call it toxic positivity. Now, I don't know if I agree with that. I feel like everything's in balance, that you should take dark with the light and light with the dark, and always just be grateful of everything you experience. But yeah, nonetheless, we're getting into shadow work, and shadow work is one of the most important things that you have to do. And one thing that I want to say before I get into shadow work, because it's cool, I switched where I am. I'm at like this little pond thing, and it's cool because there's so many people walking by looking at me, just going about their business, because I think it's normal out here to see like somebody vlogging, I think, which is freaking cool because I don't feel weird. And also this is really the first time that I pushed myself to get out, and I've always been comfortable talking, but now I'm talking in front of people and I feel so good about it. I'm leveling up. Anyways, shadow work. So shadow work, integration, and all that. I'm gonna give it in my own way for you guys to understand it. I'm not gonna get way too technical, but at the end of the day, the basic understanding is this: shadow work is literally taking that side of you that may have the doubt, that everything that you heard from the anime clip, and flipping it on its head. It's like literally accepting it, hugging it, as you've seen that himself do. It's literally it's different. It's a different feeling when you actually experience, and it's hard to explain it. And that's what I love, because that gives more to the literal journey of the self. If somebody can explain it to you all day long, but until you do it, you're never gonna understand what it like actually is. Now, if y'all see me sweating, it is hot out here, and I'm wearing black, but it feels good though. Rather than being cold, but actually it was funny. I'll save it for later, but pretty much we had a conversation earlier about hot and cold, and it was funny. But yeah, nonetheless, shadow work is really simple. And I know people say get to your point. Well, the video basically served the point, so I'm taking my sweet old time. But the point is it's literally coming to terms with that dark side of yourself. For me, a lot of my dark side was I had thoughts that were very extreme about people I loved, everything, very extreme thoughts. And I had a really bad side of always worrying, right? But just like in the anime clip you seen from Naruto, when Naruto was talking to himself, it takes all of that to realize the opposite. So it comes back to dark and light. It took all of that for you to realize where you wanted to be at now. So now you just have to become that beast. Like that part of your beast side needs to integrate with this side of you that has changed because of those things. Because for me it was really big on I worried a lot, right? Worrying that much led me to be over prepared for situations, right? But the negative is that maybe preparation took way too long. But the positive of that is that now I know preparation so well. And me and my cousin were actually just talking about this. I can help people prepare. That's like the value I can give. I know when certain things need to be avoided, because worrying is literally like this. Worrying is literally just anxiety and everything about things that may not even happen, which is just so funny. Like, it's like this. I would worry so bad that it would literally stop me. It's like fear. It's like, because it's all the same thing, just broken into different subsections. But I would worry so bad that it would stop me from doing something fun. Like, what if we die? What if we don't have enough of this? What if we run out of this? Right? But then I say the positive is it would also lead me to prepare, so that, we do have an out and stuff like that, and being cautious and that. And that's what you have to change too, is your perspective of how to look at your shadow side. Those bad things aren't really bad. There's no good and bad. Those things were helping you lead into who you become. And the biggest thing for me is the worrying really helped me prepare for certain situations where I can instantly stop something and be like, okay, this is gonna waste our time, or this, we can take this with us so we are prepared and we don't have to worry about it if it ever came to that. But it's not an overburden of super worrying to a point where I'm not even gonna go out and do the thing that I said I would do. So it's a really beautiful thing when you integrate your shadow self. I'm telling you, it's really beautiful. And one of the biggest things, right, the biggest things to shadow work integration is once you integrate your shadow, right? Or you're even on the path of balancing them. That fiery passion that I talked about that is in soul, like there is a lot of people that have it, but it gets burnt out. Once you integrate that shadow self with the self of you that's like not the shadow. So let's say the light self. I've never heard anyone say that, the light self. So the shadow self and the light self, when they become yin and yang, that center point, balance, you are literally unstoppable. The inner conversation with yourself immediately changes. Immediately changes. No longer, first of all, immediately out of the way, you're able to tell what thoughts are yours and what thoughts are your environment. And also your thoughts aren't even your own. If you step back and just observe the environment, you realize that this conversation is just going on in your head and you didn't start the conversation. You realize that you are the observer. And the thing is like, once you integrate your shadow self and realize that, it's crazy. I just pulled out earwax. Bro, I swear when I was in a colder environment, earwax is not naturally secreting out my ear. And that's what your ears are supposed to do anyways. But in all seriousness, once you balance those two sides of yourself, you can tell right away what's for you, what's not for you, get your goals achieved that you have to achieve, and you won't let anything stop you, because it's almost like the shadow self, I swear, also deals with this. Or I like to understand it like that, and that's how I became so comfortable with myself, is that your shadow self is the part of you that is the one that has like pet peeves, or has little things that they can't get over, or has like you've seen from the anime clip where he's like, oh, look at the villagers, like the villagers never liked you, like they don't trust you, you're all by yourself. It's that, it's all of that energy, and I know you guys can translate that for what that means for you. So for me, I did have a trust thing too. I had a trust for adults. I've told this story before, but I'll sum it up now. I was abused by my mom's boyfriend, and from a young age that matured me quickly to be like, okay, you can't even trust adults because they're just as childish as children. And another thing is that you have to watch adults. There's a lot of things that burst from that, but especially trust issues. But the thing is that's how my shadow self was yelling at me. My shadow self was literally in the ring with me. It was sitting here talking about like, oh, you can't trust people, you can't trust anyone, you're in this world alone, blah, blah, blah. And while some of that perspective does ring true, like I said, being born alone, die alone, it's not true. It's not all the way true. Community is literally beautiful. But that mindset of your shadow self can stop you from ever even experiencing that perspective in the beginning, because beliefs create reality. So if you're stuck in believing that and you don't integrate your shadow self, you're never gonna thrive. You're never gonna grow. You're never gonna build. And honestly, importantly to me, because I'm a big love dude, so big on love and just experiencing love. And honestly, there's a lot more I could go into if I talk about it, but the thing is if you don't handle your shadow self, you will never experience love in the best way. And people like to say that, you know, there are some people that do believe that love is conditional, right? And in their realities, what do you think plays out? Conditional love, or love with conditions. Well, I believe that love is unconditional. And it's like, it blows my mind because it's not a hard concept to understand. It's literally just like, I love you for you, just being you and just existing. There isn't any condition with me. But then people who say that love has conditions, it's like, it's almost like having needs met, like conditions. Like, oh yeah, it's gotta be like this, it's gotta be like this. And I don't think complete free-flowing love is not unconditional. And I think that even saying unconditional, because my thoughts have been changing, I honestly think that true, complete love is unconditional and there's conditions. It's almost like not even conditions, but it's like, it goes to the thing about boundaries. But that's a whole nother conversation for another video. Back to the shadow work point is, I know for a fact you will never experience real love unless it's like motherly love, or like the grandma, like whoever was that point in your life that you could do no wrong to. And even when you did wrong, they gave you a different perspective on how to look at it. that type of love cannot be experienced outside of whoever. And some people from the beginning have messed up families, so I'm not even saying that. But that love is so hard to come by if you are not completely one with yourself. But when you are, forget it. Forget it. First of all, it's easy to see it in multiple people that you meet. You'll start to be more trusting and see that you'll start attracting people who are in that unconditional love vibration just like you. But if that shadow work is not there, I'm telling you, it's not happening. It's not happening. And the thing is take it from me, because I've been in multiple relationships and I still say that I love them for what they were. They were literally beautiful, but they had their things. And I love this because I feel like I am on good terms with all my exes. I had one ex come back in like the relationship I'm currently in now and literally say that she was rooting for me, and that everything that I was, not trying to teach her, but the seeds that I was planting for her and the knowledge that I gave her, she was so thankful for it, and she just wanted to come back and apologize. And that's what I'm telling her, is like, I don't want to make my relationship seem one-sided, because sometimes I do lose my head, sometimes I get angry. We're not perfect. But the thing is I can tell you 100% is in 95% of my relationships, at least, I was not being toxic. And I was not the one that was like completely unhealed. In a lot of them, I was still growing, obviously. But in that one per se, that was one where I was really asking myself, what in me was not healed to attract someone like this? And man, I have stories from that relationship that I'll tell, but she is a really great person, and even told me she works with kids now, so that's great. But you see what I'm saying? She did the inner work, because that's what I told her. That's the one thing that everybody needs. You don't need self-help books. You just need to do the fucking inner work. You don't need to pay for a program. Okay, you know what, I'll say that? If you pay for those things and feel like you're investing in things and you need a certain person that has a certain message that maybe you resonate with, okay. See, because some people need to listen to me. So I get it, or not need to listen to me, but they choose to because they resonate with how I say it. But truthfully, I'm one of those people, and I think it's in you too, that can understand all of this without having to go to anybody. But then, why would there be teachers in the first place? But nonetheless, you are the teacher, and you need to understand that. Shadow work is important, y'all. Get it done. All right. Love you guys. See you in